Mom, Dad, I have found the future Mrs. Ted Mosby.
Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman? Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman?
Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman?
Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman? Marshall, how have I always described my perfect woman? How have I always described my perfect woman? How have I always described my perfect woman? Susan always finds a way.
Doesn't that figure? Susan always finds a way to make it about her.
Susan always found a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her.
Joey, stop hitting on her. It's her wedding day.
What? Like there's a rule or something?
There's a rule of something? There's a rule or something?
I'm raising your children. I am just trying to move on with my life.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. There is nothing to be ashamed of.
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh, okay. I tell you what then.
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh,
It
okay.
is nothing
I
to be
tell you what
ashamed
then.
of.
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh,
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
oh,
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
oh.
It
It is nothing to be ashamed of.
Oh,
It
okay.
is nothing to
I
be
tell you what
ashamed
then.
of. You always say the nicest things.
Day.
You always say the nicest things.
Day.
You
always say the nicest things.
Day.
You
Always say the nicest things.
Day.
You
Always say the nicest things.
Well, it's
You always say the nicest things. You always say the nicest things. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan,
Doesn't that figure? Susan always finds a way to make it about her.
Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to. Susan always finds a way. Susan always finds a way to make it about her. Susan always finds a way to make it about her.
pin the receipt to my chest.
He let me know how much he paid for his wife's new convertible.
Look, just work it into the conversation. Look, just work it into the conversation.
Work it into the conversation.
Way I can just
Look,
work that
just
in.
work it into the
Oh, yeah.
conversation. Just work it into the conversation.
Oh, come on, tell me, because I'd love to know what my father did that was so awful.
Your father can rot in hell for all I care.
Fine. I will see him through this, but after that,
Your
your father can rot in hell for all I care.
Your father can rot in hell for I care.
Oh, well, that's, very thoughtful of you.
Say, can I store some odds and ends in your garage?
Sooner is better than later.
Sure, why don't you come by tomorrow? Sooner's better than later.
Sooner is better than later.
Days after my funeral, Lynette replaced her grief with a much more useful emotion.
Tom, this is my fifth message, and you still haven't called me back. Tom, this is my fifth message, and you still haven't called me back.
Tom, this is my fifth message and you still haven't called me back.
If I let go of my head will fall off.
She should not wearing those pants.
Ooh, she should not be wearing those pants.
She should not be wearing those pants. Why end on fight?
We've had a good run. Why end on a fight? I'm not wearing a suit.
Lesson 2, get a suit. Suits are cool.
Exhibit A.
Don't even think about getting married until you're 30. Don't even think about it until. Don't even think about getting married until you're 30. Don't even think about getting married until you're 30.
Lesson 3, don't even think about getting married till you're 30.
Don't even think
30,
about
right,
getting
you're right.
married till you're 30.
Oh, it is on! It is on till the break of dawn.
Wait, this is only the break of 10:30. What happened? Wait. It's only the break of 10:30. What happened?
Wait, it's only the break at 10:30. What happened?
Just text me. All right, that's not gonna happen.
Wow, you're not wearing those pants. You're not wearing that outfit. You're not wearing that outfit.
And wow, you're not wearing that outfit.
Oh yeah, that looks really cute, sweetheart.
Thanks.
No, it's way too short. People know you're a girl. You don't need to prove it to them.
It's way too short. People know you're a girl. You don't need to prove it to
You
them.
don't need to prove it to them.
Seriously, what the hell's going on?
Something exciting.
How did anybody who works for me is where they usually are? How did anybody who works for me is where they usually are? How did anybody who works for me is where they usually are?
Hardly anybody who works for me is where they usually are.
You were down there with Aaron Andrews.
There's a picture.
No, there was the trap, but I knew you were a singer.
No, that was a trap, but I knew you were seeing her.
Good. Thank you. With the right EP, he'll do great at 10.
뭐지?
I think so too, and I know how much he appreciates your lobbying hard for him. He really looks up to you.
I know how much he appreciates your loving heart for him. He really looks up to you. Really looks up to you. I know how much he appreciates your loving heart for him. He really looks up to you. I've been dating for 4 months. I think that's too soon to meet our parents.
We've been dating for 4 months, and I think that's too soon to meet her parents.
I think it's too soon to meet your parents.
It's not. I'm not comfortable with it. Can you respect that?
I'm not comfortable with it. Can you respect?
Even if somebody wanted to use it, they wouldn't be able to figure out how to. It is comprehensible. Even if somebody wanted to use it, it wouldn't be able to figure out how to. It wouldn't be able to figure out how to. It wouldn't be figured out. It wouldn't be figured out. It wouldn't be figured out how to. Even if somebody wanted to use it, it wouldn't be able to figure out how to. It's incomprehensible.
Even if somebody wanted to use it, they wouldn't be able to figure out how to. It's incomprehensible.
Even if somebody wanted to use it, they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to figure out how to.
Which one?
Jobs.
Well, I mean, Jobs was a poser. He didn't even write code.
You just disappeared up your own asshole.
You just disappeared up your own asshole. You know that?
You know that? I don't see the point of that. I don't see the point of that. I don't see the point of that.
Am I going to tell them? No, I'm not going to tell them. I don't see the point of that.
I don't see the point of that.
You guys got to update your resumes, just like I'm doing.
I bet it's gonna be me. Probably.
I bet it's gonna be me. Probably gonna be me.
Ryan Howard from the temp agency.
Tanika sent me down to start today. Tanika sent me down to start today.
Daniqua sent me down to start today.
Whether they can pay for it, and
I'm boring myself just talking about this. I'm boring myself just talking about this. I'm boring myself just talking about this.
I'm boring myself just talking about this.
No. This is
No.
good. This is good.
Michael.
This is fine.
I've told him the same as you. I've told him the same as you.
Listen, okay,
Excellent.
don't
Hold on
panic.
the same.
We haven't
Alarm
made-
bell.
Doesn't that figure? Susan always finds.
I present to you the fabulous Buick LaCrosse.
I present to you the fabulous I present to you the fabulous Buick LaCrosse. I present to you 괜찮은데?
I present to you the fabulous Buick LaCrosse. Expertly crafted interior, peaceful quiet tuning, and ultrasonic rear parking assist. Observe the remote.
27 cars. 왜 이런? 270개.